Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Whoo! It's one of those mornings. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Oh, that's what was happening. The mic wasn't working, and so I was like, why can't I hear myself? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Me First Mornings. I am your host and energy alchemist, Patricia Ribeiro Wolfson, and it is my absolute pleasure to be here with you. Good morning. So, today we are going to talk about how to communicate with your inner guidance. So, if you're curious and thinking, like I want to connect with my intuition, I want to ask for guidance, but I'm not quite sure how to do it, I'm not quite sure how to communicate. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. So, I'm really looking forward to discussing that. Of course, my mission is to help you calibrate your energy and to integrate self care into easy, doable steps, as well as how to shine your light in your own unique way in the world, because that is your purpose and your mission. And I'm really excited to help you do that. So if you are watching, say hello, good morning, or whatever works for you. And if you're watching on a replay, just hashtag replay. Let me know that you're watching. And don't forget to go ahead right now to my YouTube channel, Jumpstart for Change, and smash that subscribe button and ding that notification bell so that you know when I'm showing up. Generally speaking, you can count on me from Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. on YouTube and Facebook, or where you're watching me right now, wherever that might be. Okay, let's get started. Oh, actually, let's take care of some business. I've already told you where to sign up for to subscribe to my YouTube channel, but I want to remind you that I am part of a live it's not a live because I've already recorded the interview. I'm part of a summit, and I'm going to put that up there now so you guys can see. It's called Chaos to Calm for Busy Moms, and it is a collection of experts and coaches and motivational and inspirational people giving sort of their tips and strategies and tools on how to calm the chaos. So if you're interested, if this sounds like something that resonates with you, in my interview, of course, I talk about calibrating your energy and all sorts of things. And that will be up on Monday. So you're still in time to sign up now. Listen to all of the other people that you might be interested in listening to and listen to my interview on Monday. I promise you it will be worth your while. Go ahead, go to chaos2calm.live/Patricia, because that's me. And this way you can sign up to make sure that you see my interview. Okay. And of course, if you want a free GPS workbook, you can go ahead and download that too. All right. So we've taken care of business. Now it's time for us to do our morning ritual. So um, I'm really, really ready for this today because I'm feeling a little disjointed. This is one of the reasons why I like to do the morning rituals, especially in the morning, because you can kind of wake up. And for me, I wake up and I take care of everything going on with the kids, make sure that I get them to school, pack their lunches, all that kind of stuff. And so I feel a little bit scattered when I'm done with my morning. And there's a really big sort of like, not really a letdown, but energetically, I'm like, whoa. And then I kind of have to pick the pieces back up and figure out how to, center myself or, ground myself to begin the day. Now, of course, ideally, I would be doing these morning rituals first thing in the morning at like 5 o'clock or 5:30 before my kids woke up. But that's not really how it works for me. I haven't been able to do that. And I share that with you because I want you to know that it's okay if you can't do a morning ritual. Well, first of all, it's okay if you can't do a morning ritual. Secondly, it's okay if you can't do it in the first thing in the morning. It's okay if you do it at like noon. Really, there's no judgment. This ritual that I, show you guys is just a way for you to get yourself centered, and you can do it at any time of day. And that's why I sort of developed it to be quick and short and to the point, but intentional and focused so that you can get the job done in as little time as possible so that you can get back to doing whatever it is that you do in your busy life. Because I certainly know that that's what it's like for me. Taking any sort of break sometimes adds more stress than the break itself because, of course, we have these pressures and these obligations and these challenges that we're constantly sort of like holding on to, on our shoulders, on our backs, the weight of the world on our backs. That weight of the world is often, trying to manage everybody's schedules, take care of everybody emotionally, make sure everything gets done around the house. At least that's what my reality is, along with, other stressors that show up. Um, for you, it may be something else, but I am sure that you have your own version of stress and your own reasons for the challenges that you face in your life. So, this is a good way for you to just kickstart your day, get your energy calibrated so that you can go on with your day from a place of groundedness and centeredness, being really focused on what your emotional goal is for the day, right? That's what the GPS word is. It's an emotional goal. And so we want to make sure that we stay connected to that emotional goal as much as possible throughout the day. And that's why we set our intention during this ritual. All right. So, if you are watching, feel free to say hello. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jump to Start for Change. And let's get started. So, I'm going to light the candles. I say candles, it's actually only one candle, but there's 3 wicks. So, because that's what I brought down here now. Here we go. Very nice. You can light my candle. All right. Has anybody seen Tick Tick Boom yet? I'm really, because I was just thinking of course, Jonathan Larson and the song from Rent. But I have not seen Tick Tick Boom yet, although look at that light. I love that. Oh, guys, you're just here for my amusement, right? So bear with me. So I lit the candle. We're going to use essential oils because that's what I do, right? And it's to set ourselves up for the day. Good morning, Dad. I'm so glad that you're here. Do you have your essential oils? What the heck? This is empty. Oh, that's because. Hi. Hope you guys like that close up of my armpit. This one is out of essential oils. Let's try that again. All right, here we go. I'm using my sacred frankincense. That's what I like to use because it helps calm and center me. Okay, and I like to put it in my hair. I like to put it on the back of my neck. You can put it on your pulse points. It's up to you wherever you actually, if you are new to essential oils, you go wherever you are guided. Put it wherever you're guided, but I like to smell it. Sometimes I'll put it over here so that the smell kind of comes up. Like I said, I always put it in my hair. The idea is that you want to let the scent do its magic, which is for me, and you pick the right scent that works for you. I like to pick this scent because it immediately soothes me and calms me and gets me into that meditative space. Although I don't really meditate all that often, this smell reminds me of that calm and meditative state. And so it brings my brain, to that. So it actually helps calibrate my energy to a more calm frequency. Okay, here we go. Next, we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. Good morning, Mom. Hi, nice to see you. Okay, so we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. And what I want you to do is the first breath, the way we do this ritual, of course, we are charging ourselves up. So we are clearing the vessel, right? Our body is the vessel. We're clearing the vessel. We are connecting with spirit, source, God, whatever you connect with, right? Spiritually, you are making the spiritual connection and you are charging the vessel. You are charging the system. We are going online and charging up, right? So how do we go online? Well, we are made of both stardust and earth dust, as I like to say. So we need to allow ourselves to be charged up by the sunlight, right? By the sun. That's why vitamin D is good for you. Go outside if you can, but also from the earth, right? Because we are made of the, dirt, earth, that is what makes us up, is this both the stars and the dirt together, because we are human and spiritual beings. And so we're going to open up the top of our head and imagine that the sunlight just comes pouring in like liquid sunshine in through our bodies, just pouring in all the way down. I want you to feel it permeating every single cell of your body. And that shining, healing, bright light is just going to break apart or dissipate or dissolve any stuck, stagnant, or dense energy that doesn't serve you. And when you exhale, you're going to release it, release all of the particles that don't suit you anymore. And we're going to just ask that Mother Nature, or your spirit team is just going to transmute that. All of the energy that you don't need and put it wherever it needs to be recycled and used by Mother Nature. All right, so here we go. And hold. Allow that healing light to pour into your body, permeating every cell. And release. Beautiful. And now with our feet well planted on the ground, we're going to do the same visualization. Well, not from the heavens, but yes, from earth, where we're going to plant our feet just like we are, putting our phone on one of those mag chargers where you just lay it on top. Our feet are also just going to be on the earth, wherever you're standing, whether you're outside, inside, doesn't matter. Put your feet well planted on the ground, and I want you to imagine just the roots coming up, the earth, that healing life force energy just coming up like roots through your feet, up your legs, up every part of your body, and you really just covering your entire body in this nurturing Mother Earth healing life force energy, right? I call it a million different names because that's what it is. And I want you to just imagine that, you're charging up. So like I go like this because I imagine like the lights beside me where they go boop, 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 and they highlight as you get charged, right? So I like to do that as a visual cue for myself. You can picture something else. You can picture a bucket with water filling up if that helps you. But basically, we are charging up for the day. Okay, another deep breath. And hold. And release. One final really good deep breath. We are increasing our capacity to breathe. We are increasing our capacity to receive oxygen, healing light, life force energy, right? And we're just finishing the charge. Okay, here we go. One last time. And hold. And release. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. Right now, we're going to do a little stretching. So we release the, sort of like the energy that didn't serve us from the inside. And now we are going to just release any tension, stiffness, or discomfort from our body by stretching out. And you can breathe while you do this. Like if you, sort of tilt your head or whatever part of your body that you're stretching, if you breathe into it, that's even more helpful, right? Where we are breathing and you stretch on the exhale, right? So you just hold your head and then stretch and allow that exhale to help you really stretch out whatever part of you that's feeling uncomfortable or tense or tight, right? That's what we want. We want to loosen up. We want to clear your vessel for communication, right? We want to go with the flow and make sure that we are flowing freely and beautifully, right? Okay. And then we shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Woo! Beautiful. Okay, so now we are going to set our intention together. So, what is that you intend for today, for this week, for this year? You can intend whatever you want, it's your intention, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to use that GPS word if you have chosen one. For those of you who have not or don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and download your free GPS workbook so that you can follow along with us next time. But in the meantime, even if you don't have the GPS workbook, that's totally fine. Just think of a feeling that you would like to capture, right? That you would like to embody. This is like a goal feeling, right? What's the goal feeling you want? If you had everything you ever wanted, what is the feeling that you feel? Is it accomplishment? Is it peace? Is it freedom? Is it connection? What is the word that connects with you the most, that puts you immediately in alignment, right? And when you feel that, you're like, yes, this is the feeling. I wish I could feel like this every day. Whatever that feeling is, that should be your intention so that you can begin to embody that feeling in each and every moment as much as possible. So when you're faced with choices in your life, you ask yourself, what's my GPS word? Oh, right, peace. So how can I address this in the most peaceful way? What is the peaceful solution to this problem? How can I create peace around this situation? So your GPS word becomes, wherever I said peace in those examples, you use whatever word resonates with you. So let's think about that word right now and let's call in our angelic support team, our spiritual support team, and ask them to help us set the intention for the day. All right, here we go. So I'm going to say our little Me First Morning prayer. Feel free to join me with this prayer, or you can, just say your own prayer or sit in silence. Okay, here we go. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of infinite consciousness connect with my higher self and release any and all things that do not serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day and help us to raise the vibration, the collective vibration, for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it. And so it is. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, for joining me in that intention. And let's get started with our cards, right? Because I'm going to pull a card and find out what is. What do the angels or spirit guides or spiritual support team? I change the name all the time. Why? Because people call it different things, right? So it really depends on what resonates with you. I grew up Catholic, going to Catholic school, and so we only ever talked about God, and that makes sense. And God resonates with me a lot. But I think that the God title, as a description for the powerful almighty force, there's a lot of stuff attached to God, right? Because, God is like the forefront of a lot of religious institutions, and a lot of people, let's just say that there's a lot of sticky energy around the word God. So I often will change that description and I'll say universe, I'll say source, I say spiritual support team, I'll say spiritual guidance, inner guidance. But all of it at the end of the day is, what many of us refer to as God, right? And it, you can decide whatever works for you in terms of how you're going to address it for yourself. But when I talk about connecting with your spiritual support team, it is whoever you decide is on that spiritual support team, or at least in terms of the relationship that you want to develop. Allow yourself to develop it with whoever you feel called to. You may even be developing a relationship with an ancestor, a loved one that has passed on. If that feels a little bit more realistic to you, it feels like you have a little bit more of a connection if what you're trying to achieve is cultivating a relationship with a loved one who's passed on, or if you're trying to cultivate a relationship with just, the universe, right? I refer to the universe a lot because it kind of leaves it open. And when I think of the universe, that to me includes the trees and the flowers and the plants and, all of the signs and synchronicities that I receive. I usually refer to it as the universe guiding me, because it is this guiding force of love and light, which really, at the end of the day, absolutely is in alignment with God and my idea of who and what God is, right? So you need to come up with whatever that is for you first and foremost, because it's really hard to develop a personal relationship or to cultivate a relationship and communicate with something that is too abstract. Obviously, God is omnipotent and way bigger and much more. There's much more to, that vastness than we can comprehend in our tiny little human brains. But because we are dealing with our tiny little human brains, building a relationship and having an idea of who that relationship is with is important to this process. So, that's what I want to talk about today as I pull these cards, is that you can develop a relationship and learn to communicate and even develop your own language with your spiritual support team, whatever you deem that support team to be, right? Like I said, you can decide it's your spirit guides, your angels, your archangels, your ancestors, or like your grandmother or someone who's passed to the other side. And here's the thing, our entire spiritual support team. And so I'm just going to blanket statement this and just say it's your spiritual support team. And that can include whoever you deem is involved in that team. Okay. That's up to you. And it's very, very personal. So as I talk about the spiritual support team, for me, I talk a lot about it's like my guides, my angels. It's like an amalgamation of of all things that I feel are on the other side of the veil, and that you know there is not the ability to use just regular language, or so it seems at this point of my communication with source. Is it's not really like, hey, what's going on, it's like, oh, I'm good, how are you? Right? So you kind of have to figure out a way to talk, right? Just like we figure out ways to talk to our animals, like our animals, they don't speak, and so we learn cues and we learn hints. And oh, when my dog goes like this, right, it means that he wants me to pet him. Oh, when my dog looks at me like this, right, and goes "Meow, meow," and does these little faces, it means, oh, he wants my attention. He wants me, to do something for him. And so we've developed a language that I know sometimes when Blueberry just looks at me, I know exactly what he wants, right? And he doesn't talk to me, he doesn't explain anything to me, but we figured it out because energetically I can feel him. And also we've established a pattern of communication. When I do this, he knows I mean that, right? Like if I, have him sit, he knows that he's going to get a treat. So he will listen, and we've developed this language. So he knows exactly what I'm trying to say. Well, not exactly all the time, but majority of the time. And I also know most of the time what he wants. So this is the way that we need to develop a relationship with spirit, right? And the first thing you do is start to notice. Well, the first thing you need to do is notice, right? Start to notice, become aware of how spirit is already present in your life, right? So if you, okay, first of all, like one communication tool that I find super easy, and I talked about it, I think last week or when we had Oracle week, I don't remember what week that was, is of course my oracle, right? My oracle cards. I love them. And for me, it's an easy way for me to get answers because, we've developed a relationship. Me and my cards have developed a relationship over time. Me and my guidance team have developed a relationship over time. And how do you develop a relationship and a communication? Well, you start just communicating, right? And you start planting the seeds of what you expect from that communication, right? So, like I said, I use these cards. And so it's already established that when I'm pulling these cards, I already know I'm going to ask a question and then I'm going to connect with the answer, and I'm going to see the card and the information that pops into my head about the card, plus what I know that the card represents. That is going to inform my decision, or it is going to help me decipher what is the communication that's happening. Like, what does my spirit team want me to know? So I'll ask the questions in these, to the cards and get my answer. But I don't always use my cards. Other ways is, for me, a good communication tool, well, not a communication tool, but a way that I communicate with my spirit guides is through birds. Birds show up for me. And I have decided that, and this is how I started. I started by deciding that birds represented something, that it was like the universe giving me an A-OK. And at first it was the blue jay, right? So I was like, every time I see a blue jay, I know I'm doing okay. So once I established that intention, right? Spirit's always listening and always knows, what you're intending, right? So if you literally intend, when I see a blue jay or when I see a robin or when I see a cardinal, I mean, a lot of people do that already, like to think that cardinals, or we've been told that cardinals represent signs from, loved ones who have passed, right? So if you have that connection already, you've already established a line of communication, right? But maybe you want something more because you can't have a whole conversation with a bird, although I've been known to do that. But what you can do is continue to set intentions and say, hey, um, I have this issue and I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. If I should move forward, show me a blue butterfly, right? If I need to move forward, make it easy for me to move forward, right? Like make this an easy yes for me. If, this is not right for me, then please, then my brain was like, "Meh." um, you communicate by saying, you can go either way. And I always like to go with the positive. That's why I stopped, because I don't normally say, like, stop me if I'm not supposed to do this. I like to focus on the positive, but you can do that too. Like, if this isn't right for me, then put a stop to it and start giving me roadblocks to this path. Right. And that's a very real thing, where if you are concerned that a decision is not right for you or not in your highest and greatest good, then you can put that out there and say, hey, if this isn't the right choice for me, then just start blocking the way, make it difficult for me to go, because that way, wait a second, I'm getting obstacles. And if obstacles are showing up because you intended that those obstacles were to represent a stop for you, well, then that right there is a communication. But the secret or the key is this: you have to trust that the message you receive is the one for you. And that's how you develop the relationship the most, is by practicing, okay? Practicing the communication. And how you practice is by trusting, right? So if you're in a relationship with someone and you're trying to develop trust with someone, you may say, okay, meet me here. And and if, like, meet me there at 6 o'clock if you want to come to the movies with me, right? You might say to a friend, right? And if they don't show up, you're like, okay, well, they don't want to go to a movie with me. I'm just going to take their response for what it is, and you just take it for face value. But when it comes to spiritual signs and that type of communication, we're always questioning, right? We're like, I want to see a blue butterfly, right? And you open a book and there's a picture of a blue butterfly and you're like, whoa, I didn't realize that it was a picture in a book. Was that sign for me? Or, I kind of wanted it flying around, because that would be more challenging. So that would be a real yes. So this is not a total yes. Stop that. Right? If you see something and the question in your head is this a sign? Is this the thing I'm looking for? You get to decide if it is. Because then what happens is, when you say, yes, that's what I'm looking for, then your spirit team says, oh, okay, she's listening. She's listening to signs. Send her more signs this way. Because your spirit team is also trying to figure out, what are you going to pay attention to? Because you're getting signs all the time. Your spirit team is constantly trying to connect with you, right? And but so often the way that they're trying to connect with us are in ways that we don't see or don't understand, because it is learning a whole new language. It is communicating in a whole different way. So you have to trust that communication is going to happen. Our doubts come in because we're like, I don't really have a spirit team, or my spirit team really is not like talking to me. Remove that. The first thing you need to do is trust that they're waiting to communicate with you. And the second thing you need to do is to choose a pathway for that communication. One of the other ways that I communicate with my spirit team is through movies and music, right? So if I'm struggling with something, I'll be like, show me an answer to this. I just can't figure it out anymore. And very often, like that day or the next day, I'll be watching a show and something will unfold where immediately I'll be like, oh my God, that's it. That's my answer. And that absolutely is my spirit team trying to reach me through an avenue that it knows I'm paying attention to, right? So that's where you get to create the line of communication by setting an intention and guiding your spirit team by saying yes and believing the signs that show up for you. Okay. I have a friend whose daughter fought cancer in grade 7. Her sign was coming across green roses. Daughter is now 30 and wow, oh my God, I love that story. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you and good morning. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Lynn. Bom dia, São. Bom dia. Oh, Deus te abençoe também. Obrigada. All right, so let's see what my spirit team or our guides have to say about this conversation, okay? About developing a relationship with your spirit team, asking a question. I mean, what do we need to know? That's what I'm asking the cards, okay? What do we need to know about communicating with our spirit team? Please let us know. All right, here we go. Oh, I love these cards. Okay. So the number is number 41 and it's unexpected visitors, okay? This is awesome, okay? Because the unexpected visitors card is just that. It's like things happen in your life, you get thrown curveballs, things show up unexpectedly, and this card can, represent both, the miraculously unexpected and also the things that feel super, super challenging that are unexpected. And what this is telling me is that our spirit team is the unexpected visitors, right? So if you open yourself up to the possibilities of things just showing up in your life, that is spirit. Right? That is how spirit comes through. It is by you acknowledging the possibilities, by you acknowledging the possibility of miracles, by you acknowledging the possibility of that relationship and of that communication. You are always divinely guided and protected. And if you just step into that deep, deep faith and know that your answers are out there, right? Well, they're in here, right? And you figure out a way to communicate with your spirit team, they are there ready and willing to support you in the most unexpected ways. So I'm going to take the book because I'm feeling called to do it, and then we're going to wrap it up because it's past 10:30, but I'm feeling like jazzed. I have to read what this says. Okay? So literally unexpected. I'm going to tell you what the book says about it, okay? Unexpected visitors. If you expect the unexpected, you'll be prepared for miracles, okay? This is exactly what it says. Detours, surprises, and paradigm shifts. Expect the unexpected. No matter how detailed your plans are and how clear you believe the road ahead to be, there are times when the best laid plans are waylaid by unforeseen circumstances. At first, detours may seem inconvenient, but a surprise turn of events signals that the adventure of life is beginning to get interesting. No one can plan for synchronicity, for fate and destiny to meet, except spirit. Who knows what you can't comprehend for now? Life is full of surprises, so stay on your toes and enjoy this exciting new adventure you weren't expecting. There is a plan for your life that may not match up with your agenda. And this is also, I just want to sort of focus on that last part, that the plans that you may have laid, right? And the unexpected miracles that happen may not match up with your agenda, which means sometimes when things are falling apart and we feel we are being abandoned by God or by spirit, we are not being abandoned. We are being protected. We are being led. We are being held and we are being transformed so that we may be ready and prepared for the next stage of our life, for the next part of our evolution, and for us to be part of what evolves humanity at this point, right? So things are, and I know that's what's going on with everybody. Every single person I've spoken to has some crazy, crazy stuff going on in their life right now, completely unexpected things. So if you are one of those people that has experienced, unbelievable loss or really, really heavy challenges in your life, I promise you, you are being divinely guided and protected, and you are on the path to your highest and greatest healing. And when you open up the lines of communication with spirit, you will see and ask for the signs. And if you want specific signs, ask for specific signs. And if you are not receiving the messages, then trust that that in itself is a message for you, where you need to just be patient and wait, right? If you don't get the answer you want, wait. Wait for you to get clarity so that you can trust that you are being guided to exactly where you need to go. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I really, really am so happy that you guys were here. Please don't forget to go to Jumpstart for Change and smash that subscribe button on YouTube. Make sure that you become, that you subscribe to my channel, you ding that notification bell, spread the word, like, comment, share with whoever you think may benefit from hearing this information. And I will be back tomorrow. And tomorrow's Fun Friday, so that means I'm pulling cards. Woo, woo. All right. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a really great day.